Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. What's wrong with them? I don't understand. Maybe it will pass by, someone save me. Before I pass out, I'm too lonely to be done. I'ma drink at this pace. Yeah. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to?
Good morning YouTube and welcome to today's video. We're going to be doing a travel video for this one because Chloe and I are in Sicily at the moment and we're going to be here for the next 10 days. We landed yesterday in Palermo where we intend to stay for the next 3 days, and we're going to be here exploring, eating delicious food, particularly cannolis, and just trying to have as much fun as possible in the time we have here.
If I had an option to be someone else, I would, and let go of you. I know that I'm obvious, forget I'm made this way, but why didn't I stay when I had the chance? Maybe it will pass by.
Did I mention that this is a nudist beach? I mean, you don't have to get naked. Not everyone here is, but, well, when in Italy.
Why am I the only one who's left in the rain with nobody to hold on to? Why am I the only one who's feeling this pain when there should be two?
Well, that was fun. Weirdly liberating. I feel so free right now.
Different things, but letting go just comes easy that you don't know. Why am I the only one who's left in the rain?
How was your meal?
It was great. It was beautiful. Never had anything like it.
So after having such an amazing pizza yesterday, probably the best pizza I've ever had in my life, and also 2 cannolis and 4 glasses of wine, we've decided to walk up Mount Pellegrino. It's gonna take us about an hour and a half, and at the top there's like this tribute to this saint called Rosalia, who, as the legend goes, is actually responsible for stopping the plague in Palermo. They apparently found her bones, then carried her bones around the streets of Palermo, which stopped the plague. But then years later it turned out that that was a goat. Of course, if you don't fancy the walk, that's okay, because it is quite steep and the incline isn't that forgiving. But there's always other options like public transport. Public transport is great in Italy. It's not really that good, but you can always take the bus. We're now ascending the stairs up to the Church of Rosalia. When we got to the top, we just stopped off for a little coffee. It was like €5 for 2, and actually really, really nice. It's funny that when you're in London, it's kind of hard sometimes to get a decent coffee anywhere. However, you can come up Mount Pellegrino and get a really, really delicious coffee. God bless Italy. It is remarkably beautiful in there and slightly eerie. The actual building itself that you can see behind me is built onto the side of this mountain. So you walk in and it's just a cave. I'm not much of a religious guy myself, but you certainly get this overwhelming feeling. It was a place of deep, strong religion at some point. The only downside to the entire experience was that Chloe didn't want to go in because she felt uncomfortable based upon what she was wearing. I spoke to some of the people outside and they informed me that you must just have your shoulders covered if you go in. So maybe that's something to consider. We began to descend Mount Pellegrino. One of the reasons why I can remember it's called Mount Pellegrino is simply because of the sparkling water, San Pellegrino, and it works quite well as a memory trigger. I had to put a towel around my neck because I am very burnt. Even though I did apply sun cream, apparently I applied sun cream that was like 3 years old, and Chloe tells me that after about a year, sun cream becomes a bit redundant. So I was basically just putting like nice fragrant cream on my body in hope to protect myself from the sun. Turns out it didn't do that, and I am toasty. So far we've done 10,000 steps and 9 kilometers. So it's time to go back to the B&B. Well, today is our final day in Palermo. We've had an amazing 3 days. We ate really well. I mean, I possibly ate the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life from Pizzeria Frida. Last night we had some delicious seafood. We've had some incredible white wine. Last night we had a carafe which was 500 milliliters for €4. It was their house white and it tasted delicious. So that's definitely been a highlight of Palermo. And in total, since we've been here, we've walked around 90,000 steps. So we've done a hell of a lot of exploring. We climbed Mount Pellegrino yesterday and it was so beautiful. Yesterday when we went up, we drove back up this morning and experienced the sunrise over Palermo. It was beautiful. This whole place has been incredible. I would highly recommend, if you get the opportunity, you visit Palermo. Super pleased with the B&B that we stayed at as well. It's really nice, not very expensive, super hospitable. It's been awesome. I've had a great time. We're off to Cefalù today. That's where we're heading now. But first, we're gonna go check out this food market in Palermo. Capo Marketo, pronounced horribly. It's a market full of local traditional foods, and well, it smells amazing, the food looks amazing, so let's go check it out.
One calamari, 2 sardina, 1 parmesan, 1 mangia baby.
It's all been very, very delicious. Calamari, I think, for me was my favorite. What about you, Chloe?
The rolled sardines.
The sardines, those were also good. The rolled sardines were fantastic. A lot better. Chocolate and hazelnut?
Bacio.
So on our way to Cefalù, we've decided to just stop off, park the car at a place called Capo Saffarano. So we're currently walking around the edge of the marina down in Cefalù. It's a little bit precarious, a little bit rocky, but definitely manageable. Regardless of your physical abilities, I think you'd handle this, obviously, unless you had like broken legs or something. But then again, I doubt you'd be here. Because there was a storm last night, the sea, the ocean is quite alive. Ooh, it's alive and kicking. I thought maybe some people would be too worried about how treacherous this could be, but it's really not. There's actually a really good safe path you can take. Just Chloe and I quite like jumping around on the rocks because it makes it feel a little bit more active. You know, you're stretching your legs, using your thighs, using your hamstrings, using your calves. Look, there's people. Hello, people. We're now going to go and get some pizza. I'm hungry. I don't think Chloe's that hungry yet, which is a first. So we have a pizza rustica, which has gorgonzola cheese on top, mushrooms, a tomato sauce base, and some picante salami, which is a spicy salami. I am very excited about this. I'm actually eating this in front of a really, really incredibly beautiful view. So it's like the perfect setting for a delicious pizza.
I can't get no sleep, living in the race. Life is bittersweet, I can't really explain it, but it's everything I need. At least for now, I think that everything might be alright, okay, yeah. I can't get no sleep, living in the race.
We've just walked up towards the cathedral, which is absolutely glorious. I feel like the word glorious really describes it because of these two soaring towers either side, which are amazing. It's actually a really nice place to stop off and have a coffee as well. There's a couple of different restaurants here and bars.
That was so nice. It's almost 4 p.m. So now is probably a good point in the day. Take a breather, maybe go for a swim. What do you think?
Let's go for a dip.
I should keep my shoulders covered because they're so bird. My t-shirt that I was wearing is down my shorts. So before heading off to dinner this evening, we're just going to go and check out the sunset. And it's already looking quite purple in the horizon. It's also looking a little bit stormy, which could mean that we're going to see like thunderstorms, lightning, and a sunset. So this restaurant we're going to now is called La Brache. It has been around since 1977 and it has some incredible reviews. I'm still feeling pretty hungry. I don't think the desserts here are that good. I think I'd rather just get cannoli. We've got the sheep's ricotta piped into the cannoli itself with some pistachio on the top, as you can see. I love you cannoli, and if it's quite alright, I love you cannoli. Trust in me. Good morning from Sciacca. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We arrived here yesterday. We've checked into this really incredible, beautiful hotel with an incredible pool and an amazing breakfast as well, which I just ate, and only £75 for the night. I think it's quite cheap because it's actually a little bit outside of Sciacca, and if you wanted to visit the city itself, you're probably better off staying somewhere in the city centre. However, the reason we're here is because we want to visit the Valley of the Temples, and that's where we're going this morning. It's about an hour's drive from the hotel. We're gonna go there first, check that out, and then we're gonna go over to Capo Bianco, which is a beach. I want to say it's a capo, so it's obviously going to be beautiful. I think it has a nudist beach. This evening, we're going to head into town, have a look around Sciacca, and finally go for some pizza. It's going to be one hell of a day. I'm excited, so I guess we better go into the Valley of the Temples. We have arrived at the Valley of the Temples. It took about an hour from our hotel. The journey was really nice because it's just so scenic in Sicily. It's actually just really nice to drive around. This is the Temple of Juno. It is incredible. It dates back to 450 BC. So it's like 2,500 years old. I would love to know what they got up to in this temple 2,500 years ago. The views around us are incredible. You get this like 360-degree view. We pay 12 euros each to get in as well. It's really not that expensive. It's definitely worth the trip. This is the most well-preserved temple in the entire valley. This again dates back to like 450 BC, so it's like 2,500 years old. It is incredibly impressive to think that this has been this well-preserved for this entire time. It's it's incredibly difficult to describe to you just how beautiful the Valley of the Temples is. They're really accommodating here. There's like a little bus for €3 that'll take you back from like the end of the walk to the car park. So if you do walk all the way to the end and you're like, oh, I don't want to walk back, they've got vending machines, toilets, there's fountains everywhere so you can fill up your water bottles or you can just take a drink from it.
A couple of restaurants.
All in all, the Valley of the Temples has been absolutely awesome. Next up, we're gonna head to Capo Bianco.
It's calling me. Oh, like the rainbow. Like the rainbow. It's calling me. Oh, like the rainbow. The rainbow.
There's a small chance that the current might be a little bit too strong. You can actually see from the waves that it's throwing it out to the left behind me.
I can't control.
So we've just finished up at Capo Bianco. It was really, really awesome, especially after we walked a little bit further around the beach and found the main beach, which was, well, it was a nudist beach. It was predominantly just naked men. Chloe and I fully embraced it though and got naked and jumped in the sea. We are going to head back to the hotel. It's our final night in Sciacca.
It's calling me. Oh, like the rainbow. Like the rainbow. It's calling me. Oh, like the rainbow.
Everything is beauty. It's got spicy salami, sausage, and mushrooms.
I've only got 2 slices left, but this pizza has been delicious. It has some ham on the top, mushrooms, gorgonzola cheese, a tomato base, and some other cheese. It is remarkably good pizza. This is actually the second night in a row we've come to the same pizza place as well, which is also the second time we've done that on this holiday, because when we were in Cefalù, we went to La Brache twice. When we find somewhere good, it's safe to say we go back there. Oh, it's so good.
Drunk, I've never seen you clearer than now. We're flying high, floating somewhere up in the clouds. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real. Cause when we're doing our thing, we're like wheels that won't stop turning. So take me on a trip, trip, trip. Now trip, trip, trip. Oh, flick the switch, kill the lights. Oh, wasted. City lights are shining so bright. All these empty faces, we don't care about them tonight. We're going out of ourselves, can you feel it? Almost like I don't know if it's real. Cause when we're doing our thing, we're like wheels that won't stop turning. I know we're acting stupid.
So we've arrived in Trapani. It's really wonderful here. It has a really authentic Sicilian charm about it, and it's utterly beautiful, like the majority of Sicily actually is. On the way down, we actually stopped off at some place called Castello something. I can't actually remember the name, but that was also very, very pretty. It was like a coastal town. Plan is now to go back to the hotel. They kindly complimented us 2 free drinks as well. We're gonna have some showers, go up to the bar, which is kind of overlooking this little sort of town square. So after watching the sunrise this morning, we hiked up to Arice, which is a medieval town at the top of a mountain. The hike itself was pretty challenging. It's very steep, and it was around a 550 meter elevation across 5 kilometers. Oh my God, that's incredible. Oh wow. The entrance to the hike itself isn't that easy to find as well. You go via a street called Manzoni, but once you get on the path, there are these red and white markings that help guide the way, which is fantastic. Along the way as well, we came across this kind of creepy, abandoned hotel. It's incredibly creepy as you go in. You have to avoid like tons of broken glass. There are holes in the floor. Chloe was just telling me that this girl who wrote a blog about visiting Sicily actually stayed the night in the hotel. I was like, what do you mean? When it was open? She's like, no, when it was abandoned. Instead of hiking, if you don't want to take the trail, you can actually take a funicular or just drive if you've got a car. The town of Arice was amazing. The views were breathtaking. It was really cool at the top there. It is truly beautiful. The view is quite sensational. Along with the fact there's a medieval castle, you've also got this fully functional town. So when you get up here, you can have anything you want. You could have just some sandwiches and water if you wanted, or you could have a really, really nice meal. You could have dinner. You can stay here because it's a 5-star hotel. Essentially the final cannoli. This is a cannoli ricotta with some pistachio on the top. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a bite. This is like the final cannoli. That's a really good cannoli.
This is sensational.
I think cannolis have probably been one of the highlights of this trip. The holiday is coming to an end, but it's been really, really amazing. It's actually my second time in Sicily and it's certainly not disappointed. I mean, it's difficult to say what the highlight of the whole trip was. Every city we visited was amazing. They all had their own individual characteristics and charm. One thing I'd say though, if you do visit Sicily, I definitely recommend, if you can, that you rent a car, because it just gives you the opportunity to explore places that public transport might not be able to access. My main recommendation is that you visit Sicily and check this beautiful place out. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That would be awesome, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.